All right. welcome to fucking Notepad stream where we play it, where we play things fast and loose. All right. Oh, I'm echoing now. Oh, sweet. Wait. What the fuck are you doing here? No. Okay, you go away. All right. I should be fine now. What the fuck? OBS. OBS, please. Am I echoing now? Please tell me I'm not echoing now. My good salmon, you're the only one here. That's a new one. That is definitely a new one. Okay. Why are you doing this to me? I check everything beforehand. Every single thing. I double check, I triple check to make sure. Then everything breaks because it's me. So, I think everything is fine again. I think we're good. I think. So, hello everyone. My name is Notepad Anon, and I write games for fun. I think I have everything set up correctly, and if I don't, it's going to be a fun and exciting time. Oh no. Okay. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the ultimate gamer move, and I'm going to go on my phone. This is great. Like, last time I was having technical issues out the ass. Now I'm having technical issues. Like, here, God, I could not win. Let us see. I'm gonna check. Okay. Judging by the phone, everything looks pretty good. You probably heard some god-awful reverb effects. But, yeah. Hi, everyone. You may be wondering, why am I streaming on a Thursday? And the answer is because yesterday, shit went wiggity whack. My OBS was having a shit fit. My computer was not having a good time. So I changed some things, changed some different settings. Hi, phone. We currently are streaming at 30 frames per second, so if things look a little bit choppy, that's the reason. I am actually encoding using my graphics card, not my CPU. And generally things are going. I changed some settings up, bumped up the bit rate, and everything in service to try to make this functional. I even committed the big boy sin, and I moved to the, quote, more efficient browser of Microsoft Edge. Yeah, you know I'm getting desperate. I switched over to Microsoft Edge to check things out. So if there's any issues, any issues with how things sound or look, tell me, please. But yeah, it was not. Yeah, exactly. Edge, not my proudest moment, but it was either use Edge or like install Firefox, or like I was looking at everything trying to find like a good solution, and nothing. I think it's my CPU was just having a bad time. I asked my streamer friend, I'm like, how make things better, please? And he recommended Edge. So yeah, we're gonna continue on. where we were last time. So last time on Dragon Ball Z, we were doing styles. Now, dealing how I'm not a lazy person, I decided to continue on. So, what happened with stances? Stances, well, they got what they needed. We have our stance bonuses, we have our stance penalties, you know, whether, like, what the hell, passive tension? Oh, yeah, passive tension triggers. Then the number of passives, stances, stance values, and then stance intense. I think called it intensity, and I just clicked on the wrong button. God, why? I'm going to do that every time now. Move edge right there. I believe it was called intensity last time. I changed it to stance spread. Pretty much how many attributes you can actually spread it out among. And why do I want to increase that? It's to make sure it's not like, oh, I get a +3 strength, but I get a -111 and not really affect me at all. You're paying for that. So, out of all of these, if I zoom in quite a bit, actually check. Okay. So out of all of these, we have the passives, which the goal with the passives and all of that were to have like more of a sequential cost to it. So like the first one costs 4, the second one costs 8, the third one costs 12. But I didn't quite know how to do that, so I'm keeping it like this. I might be able to find some people to help me with the numbers there a little bit later. I'll play that one by ear. Also made myself a cup of coffee. Because, yeah, who cares? It's 8 o'clock at night. I want a coffee. So, one of the big things with stances, we have our stance value. One of our big things with stances is you can get a resistance to certain effects, gain tension, gain stamina, become grab resistant, gain armor, gain a flat check bonus, add a modifier of some sort. And then you have all the stance penalties. You have the inability to use strikes, inability to use moves, inability to perform offense or defense, inability to actually move at all, inability to recover stamina, inability to defend yourself, inability to perform grabs. And then we have our passives. Same thing. The idea is just that passives apply everywhere. That's one of the big things, is that with a passive, you're going to, as long as you have it, as long as you are in that category, you're going to have it. Which I bumped the costs up quite a bit. So it's like, oh, hey, I gain tension, 3 for 1. I gain armor, 2 for 1. Flat check bonus, 3 for +1. It's a little bit more expensive across the board. And then I put in things like health bonuses or trigger moves. Actually, what I should say is trigger movement. Because trigger move is different than a trigger movement. And then we have a trigger remove penalty. What does that fucking mean? Body burn. Oh yeah, trigger remove a penalty. And then an enemy check penalty. And then this is passive tension triggers. What do I mean by this? It's pretty much expend tension to immediately trigger an ability. And you can pretty much say, I'm going to immediately expend some tension to use a offensive move, or expend this to immediately do something that would normally require a trigger of some sort. That's kind of the... So, what we're going to do today... Oh yeah, we also have keywords, which... Keywords kind of follow the same idea. Which is... have keywords for fucking everything. What we're going to do is... One, we have to define every single one of these terms. Every single one we have to define. That's going to suck. The second thing we have to do is we have to start making styles. We have to actually make sure the styles work as intended. I hate myself for this. Why did I do this? But this is fine, right? Right. So let me see. I'm mostly going to worry about modifiers right now because I have a lot of fucking modifiers. Modifiers and status effects. So let's see. Okay, so we have our modifiers right here. These are our offensive ones. Luckily, a lot of them share each other, so we don't have to worry about that too much. So, keyword. The keyword. And can have a keyword attached to it. All moves and basic strikes can only have a single keyword. So, chain the move can be chained out to another strike or move, costing less stamina. Actually, I need to help define one. That's what you actually want to do. Changes a move that allows the fighter to perform an action immediately after another. Now you understand why this is going to be a little bit of a pain. But I'm ready. I'm ready for this. This is what I do. This is the fun part, right, everyone? We all going to say this is fun. Fun with a capital F. Let's see. It a grab requiring part to be requiring a limb to be grabbed. Crippler. Move if successful. Cripples a target limb. Multi-target. Move can strike multiple individuals, can strike multiple fighters at once, or a single fighter twice. All body. Somebody once told me the body. So the move. The entire opponent's body, dealing which equally to all limbs. Mix up. The moves can be used to target high, mid, or low. Let's see. The move can be used to target two locations. Can use The move can be used to target two locations: high, mid, or low. So pretty much, I can hit you in the head, hit you in the chest, or I can hit you in the legs, hit you in the chest, or hit you in the legs and hit you in the head. It's a mix-up. So trigger. The move has a trigger attached to it. This means that the move has a special effect if the requirements are met, which leads to fade. The move, when successfully performed, allows the fighter to move 1 hex in any direction. Fireball. The move has a range of we'll call it 3 hex in any direction. The move has a range of 3 hexes in any direction from the fighter. Chip. Always deal, I will say, half damage to the opponent. Will always deal half damage to the opponent. Actually, always deal damage equal to the number of dice rolled. Equal to the number of dice rolled, regardless of whether or not the move is fully blocked. Yeah, the idea of chip damage is like, I'm gonna swing a bunch of little shitty hits at you, but I guarantee I'm gonna do damage, which can be real annoying to some people who have really low health, especially if you start hitting them with moves and then really weak limbs. So now we come down here, so that's what I can do. Do. This is going to be a very long and tedious adventure. Hope you all know this. So let's see, we've got all our keywords here. So we have keyword, grab, multi-target, all body, mix-up, trigger, fade. Okay. So this means we need punishment. If successful, this defensive move will deal damage equal to the successful defense, equal to the die on the defense, equal to the die rolled. So what this means, this is pretty much just for countering. So if I'm going like, oh, I'm going to punch you in the face, and then I'm like, okay, I have punishment on my ability, I succeed, I'm going to bonk you right in the face as a punishment for you fucking up. We'll seize the momentum. And then we have hyper armor. This move grants the fighter hyper armor to take Next hit for no damage. Oh, okay, actually, it would be allowing them to negate the next strike or remove this damage. I believe that's the majority of the keywords at least. Okay, so now we get to do bonuses. Yay. So resistance. The resistance, actually we'll do resistance X. Prevents the use. Prevents the effects of a certain status effect. I cannot be stunned, I cannot be downed, I cannot have my meter drain, I cannot be exhausted, stuff like that. Tension gain X. Naturally generate a small amount of tension for every every round inside of the stance. For every round. Stamina gain X. Naturally generate a small amount of stamina for every round. Grab resistance. Cannot be naturally grabbed unless in a command grab. So I can't grab you, but unless I'm burning tension to lip you. Alright, get out of here, Salmon. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Everything will be uploaded to YouTube. You know how it goes. Let's see. Fighter will be naturally grabbed unless in a command grab. So unless you're burning stamina to... Actually, you would be burning tension to, like, do a full combo command grab on me. That's not going to work. Armor, so actually... Actually has protection. Incoming damage by the armor's amount. Flat check bonus. Fighter gain a flat bonus to a certain check. Add modifier. The fighter. Certain modifier. And that's me putting something like, for example, like fade on everything. Every single one of my moves now has fade. I punch you, I can fade. I kick, I can fade. I use a grab move to throw you over my shoulder. I can fade. That's what that's for. Maybe not be the most, what we would consider the most useful thing in the world, but if you want to build a stance that way, go for it. So, what I should do is put you over here for passive bonuses. So we have tension gain, we have armor, we have flat check, health bonus. Need a flat amount of health to all limbs. So we have trigger movement. When a condition is fulfilled, either the fighter is allowed. The fighter is allowed to move a hex. Yes, it's enemy check penalty. The opponent has a negative modifier to their checks as long as they are fighting or succumbing to the fighter's area of effect. As long as you are fighting me, you're going to gain this penalty. This sucks. Trigger remove penalty. When a condition is fulfilled, the fighter need to consider a penalty. Trigger remove penalty is something like, I think that a good example would be the chains one. I am bound. Naturally, I wouldn't be able to do things. I would take a penalty. However, since I am bound, I can ignore that. I'm not affected by the fact that I'm in this. Body burn. This is your devil one. This is your, devil trigger. Devil insert. What's the name? What is it? What's his devil insert? I'm having a fucking stroke. It's not his devil insert. Demon insert? Nah, can't remember what the hell it is. Also, you get the unfortunate thing of me having to use Bing. The Bing. Who the fuck uses Bing? No one uses Bing. Bing sucks. Let's see. Okay, so now what I get to do now is do the really cheap way of so we do header, data, create a filter, because if you don't make a header, it doesn't register it. Data, turn off filter, data, create a filter, A to Z, data, turn off the filter. Alright, we've got. Now we get to wonder, is there anything I missed? Ooh, all the inabilities, of course. Of course I missed all the inabilities. And all of these. Oh, Jesus. So, let's see. Tension gain. We don't need to worry about any of these. Force move. Enemy check penalty. Okay, we don't got to worry about any of these. Add attribute, trigger attack. Stamina cost reduction. Adrenaline, trigger damage up. Flip condition, tiring, unbroken, thick. We don't have to worry about fade. Alright, actually, do we have trigger move? Yes, we do have trigger move. Even though it's called trigger movement, because it's not. Trigger move is very different from a trigger movement, because God is dead. I don't get to have nice things. Yeah. Remember, the first rule of everything is on fire. Everything is always on fire. So force move. Wait, do we have force move? No, we don't have force move. So force movement. This would be to forces to move 1 hex in any direction of the fighter's choice. Battle die up. What am I basing the battle die up on? So I actually know what the fuck I'm talking about. So I wrote these at like 2 in the morning. So let's see. +2 defending against them. Yeah. Actually, yeah, okay, battle die up. The move increases. Move increases the damage of the attack. Increases the damage die of the attack by 1 step. Add attribute. The move adds a fighter's attribute to the damage. Trigger attack. Guess what this is going to be? Trigger attack is the move. Actually, it'd be when a trigger is met. In extra effect. This one would be programmed. Oh yeah, there we go. This is for this. When a condition is met, the move does an extra effect. Because, again, you can't just write that in there because you gotta make sure it could be applied to anything. And everything has to be accounted for. And I don't get to have nice things. So, stamina cost reduction. The move costs less stamina. Costs 1 less stamina. Adrenaline. What did I end up doing for adrenaline? Oh, adrenaline was the... Where was it? Second breath. Costs no stamina. But you may be wondering, why don't I just choose that? The answer is... Dun, 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 dun. Here's adrenaline. Adrenaline's cost more. So you're going to be paying more for it. Actually, I should do something like that. I also got pinged. Who needs me? What are people doing? Want game designer stuff. Don't they know I'm doing things? So, trigger damage up. The move. Deal an extra damage die if a certain trigger. Extra damage die if a certain trigger is met. Inflict condition. The move inflicts a status effect. Tiring. The move reduces the opponent. The move, if successful, reduces the opponent's stamina by 1. Unbroken, any. Use that. Okay, the move, actually. Why is that a keyword? I guess for these ones. Again, actually, unbroken any. Move prevents any damage to be dealt to the fighter. Prevents any damage to be dealt to the fighter on a specific limb. See, Unbroken was mostly on the Lugru Thug style, with the idea being, like, the Lugru Thug style is pretty much designed around, I'm going to be able to take a punch to my face and kind of not give up real quick. You know, it's the, I'm going to be rolling with punches and stuff just to make sure that I don't die. So, these all work. And I need to do... Inability. Alright, now we get to do all the inabilities. Guess what these are going to be? Inability. Basic strike. The inability to perform moves. The inability to perform offensive or defensive. Actually, offense or defense. The inability to use grabs. Yeah, inability, offense, defense. The entire idea behind that one is You're using this stance to do something else. Like, this is not a fighting stance that you're entering. This is your, I'm doing this for a very specific reason. Usually it's, hey, I'm entering this stance so I can literally not be knocked down or hurt. Or I'm going to enter this stance so I can regain tension really fast or regain my stamina really fast. I can't do anything. I'm just regaining things really fast. That's what it's about. I believe we have everything. See, the fun part is I know I have to put every single part of this into the main book. This isn't going to be fun. Actually, if you give me 1 second, I am going to use the gentleman's room. Give me 1 second. Hello, hello, hello. Did you just stop playing music? All right then. Hi everyone. It's a me. It's a me and Notepad Anon. So we've got all our inabilities. We've got everything here. All right. Now we just have to put them. I don't want to put it in. I don't want to put it in the folder. I don't want to put it in the document. It's going to be painful. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to select all of this. We're going to select all of this. We're going to hit that. We are going to make a completely new part for this. because... Okay, let's put it right here. So I'm going to have to delete this entire section and just start from the back up and just do it all over again. Okay, so let's get rid of that. Actually, so what I'm also going to do is I'm going to select every single one of these, because some of these actually don't follow the rules perfectly, because I was like, oh, everything will be thematic. That's a terrible idea. Never do that. Oh god, it is not having a good time. It is not enjoying my bullshit. Okay, I'm gonna select everything here, Control X, and title document. The old styles. In case you want to know, I cannot click on anything. Oh, there it is. There we go. There we are. Oh god, it is chunky. Chunky. Chunky monkey. Okay, Ryu, bruh. Okay, I believe something got broken here. Yes, so go away. Yes, even you, Jerry. Especially you. You damn succubus. So, styles on the character. Files contain professional one style of their choice, or referee's choice. Each style is composed offensive, defensive. One combat, dealing damage. Alright. So, we are dealing with heading 2, so that means we're going to have to be dealing with heading 3. So it's going to be heading 3 and 4. Okay. So what we need to do is possibly actually turn it into heading 1, maybe? Let's make it an entirely different section. Because if we consult this, styles in the character, and then yeah, we can actually probably get away with it being like, okay, here's your styles and your characters. This is actually how you make a style. Yeah, I think that'll work. So what we're going to do is make another document. We're going to type everything up in this one. Why, you may ask? Because fuck that. Music, I really like you. Please play. All right. This is the fun part, right, everyone? This is gonna be fun. Fun with a capital F. So. Okay, so. Actually, what I'm going to do is... It's not Arial, is it? That's Archivo. Archivo Black. No, just Archivo. Heading 1, update heading 1 to match. Update text to match. All right. Style creation. Every style is a unique expression. Personal. Every style is a unique expression of the school and the fighter's own personal development in it. Styles come in all shapes and sizes, different techniques, different ideas, and even wildly different approaches to the idea of combat. Rather than making a small list of dedicated styles, rather than make a list of dedicated styles, I encourage the referee and players to create their own styles to reflect the world around them. The referee curate these styles or only allow a small subset of their own creation. This is their decision from every game. However, following rules, creation of an individual style from foundation to down foundation to echelons of fist to fist combat. What we're going to do is we're going to break this down into certain parts. So part 1, we're going to call it foundations. And foundations is all going to be entirely about explaining the tiers and style costs. Actually, it would be explaining style costs and the tiers. Part 2, we're pretty much going to work across. Part 2, offensive moves. Part 3, defensive moves. Part 4, stances and passives. And part 5, keywords. And that should be it. Status effects need to be put in probably the combat section. Honestly, they probably do, but we're here not doing that right now, so oh god. Okay. Well, let's get writing. Part 1, Foundations. Concept is the concept of its foundation. The very heart and idea of the style at its core. This is dependent on the referee the most. This determines how many style points the players have access to. Style points, and in turn the style cost, represent the complexity of various moves and stances. More complex, the more they cost. The amount of style points available to the players can roughly be seen as the power level of the game. Allowing with a higher amount style points, signifying crazier styles and more off-the-wall creations. So let's see, is there anything I want to put in here? Okay. For every game, So we've got foundations. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a big list here of various style point things. Kind of get a basic idea of how they're going to look. Actually, if we're going to put foundations there, we're going to make part 2 tiers. Make sure I don't forget, because this is going to be a section I have to do later. Because I need to check how many points things actually cost. So, to it. That's certain effects are the style to inflict penalties. for a negative, quote, negative cost. So now we get to go on to, we're going to do tiers now. So part 2, tiers. Part 2, tiers. Every style is broken. Six different tiers. And make sure I remember them, because I'm very bad when it comes to remembering things. 6 different tiers. Novice, seasoned, proficient, skilled, veteran, and elite. These represent the training and ability. Let's see the maximum from it. Starting starting fighters are considered only proficient in their style after learning the ins and outs. Learning the ins and outs of it. Every tier can have one offensive, defensive, stance / passive, and keyword in it. So there cannot be two offensive moves in the novice tier, but one offensive and defensive move. This does mean that in total, a fully kitted style will have 6 of each of the 4 categories. However, it is encouraged to not do that, as it is very intensive style point wise. Intensive in style points. So each tier has an associated style cost when slotting a move into that tier. Lower tier abilities, lower tier moves, lower tiers are more expensive, as they are quicker to learn, I'm not fully committed to this yet, but I think it'll work. See, if I really wanted it to be a way, I would almost use this as like a multiplier. Like 3, 2, 1, 0.5, 0.25, and like 0.1 as like the cost of it, but that... Oh, no. When slotting a move into that tier, lower tiers are more expensive. They are quicker to learn, easier to master than higher tiers. When designing moves and abilities, actually when designing the style, slotting into different tiers. Yeah, easier to master than higher tiers. So okay. Now we're gonna put this. What we can actually do is style point cost total. Actually, select all of you. Then we need to go to the untitled document. Hit that, paste, linked, select everything here. Archivo 12. Select everything here. Right click, table properties, middle black, table inline center. Style cost. Actually, how much can we shrink these? Can we shrink these down to 0.9? Yeah, we totally can. 0.9, and that means with style cost we can increase you up to like 1.2 maybe. 1.3. What I'm trying to find is how okay, so it's 1.3 for style cost to be flattened. So that's actually good to know. So now we get to worry about offense. Part 3. Okay, actually, is there any side notes from here I want to add? What we'll do is we'll get rid of you. Letting moves and abilities to consider lower tiers being the bread and butter. That's what normal action will be taking / augmenting, for example. Need something that's basic kickstart. Follow the equipment. Everything taken away should be given back. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to select this. You call that a fighting style. Go away, Kenshiro. So I'm going to be sprinkling parts of this throughout for the idea of like, okay, this is a concept that you should learn, and like how actually if we put this right here, we still might have to put it down, but we'll play with that when we get to it. We will let that problem come to us. And if we ignore it, we don't have to think about it. Right? Right. That's what I like to hear. I wonder if I can do this here. Oh, wait. No, I don't want that. I want it. I just remember that, so I may as well look at it on screen. We play things fast and loose here. So we want to zoom into 150. So let's see, we got tier 2, so we need tier 3. Part 3 now, offensive moves. Core fighting method. Devastating conditions. On fighter on their opponents. On devastating conditions on their opponents. So, alright. Each part of offensive move can build top of one. Each part of an offensive move can build on top of one another, allowing for a flurry of devastating aiming attacks, or forcing an opponent to open themselves up for a punishing strike to the head. So, what we're going to do is we're going to put in a lot of tables. Hopefully you're all ready for Tables, the musical. So, what we need to do is I'll put you right here. Attack die. And we're going to do it probably above. So what we're going to do is attack die. We're going to play it the simple way. We're going just to bold it rather than put it under like a tier, like, oh, this is heading 3 or something. I'm going to do that because if I do heading 3, there's going to be a lot of fucking headings. So I want to kind of mitigate that. For now, anyway, I might just use the deleting method to clean it up a little bit. Kind of depends on how I'm feeling. Actually, what does our heading 3 looks like? I guess I could use it, and so yeah, let's do it. Let's see. So the attack die represents which attributes? How a punch uses STR. A move can use STR. A move can use any attribute to attack and in turn deal damage. What I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to select it and just shift it over to archive. I'm not going to clean it up at all. Brings us to the attack multiplier. Paste unlinked. Multiplier. Is whether or not the damage is multiplied at the end of the attack if it is successful. Going up to a times 3 damage. So, for example, a fighter rolls 6 damage on their attack with a 2 times modifier. They would deal 12 damage to the opposing fighter. This is very scary because it allows characters who may not be looking like they're going to do a lot of damage to quickly do a lot of damage. Being like, oh, haha, I've only going to do my toughness. Oh, I don't really need to block that. Haha, my toughness is actually D12 and I've hit you for, 10 to 30 damage and I've broken your arm because fuck you. If you want to pull something like, oh, I want to use an iron breaking kick or something, you're using an attack multiplier to really, make sure they do not have a nice day. So, we don't need modifiers yet. We're going to do status effects. Actually, do we do required limb? Yeah, let's do status effect, inflicted status, number of modifiers. So, status effects. Move inflicts a status effect as detailed in the combat section. Be added at once. The same effect, but the same effect cannot be applied twice. Be applied twice. A fighter may also inflict a status effect on themselves to reduce the cost of the move, either costing more, reduce the cost of the move in total. So we want to do inflicted statuses. Inflicted statuses suck. It's like, ow, I'm deliberately hurting myself. But the idea is I'm deliberately hurting myself, so I no longer have to think about things. It's your high risk, high reward play. Yeah, we want to fix that. So we have to now move on to... I said modifiers, yeah. We'll do modifiers, tension cost. No, we'll do tension cost into modifiers. So, attack die, multiple. What do we attack? So, how many dice are we attack? How many attributes are we attacking with? How much do we multiply that damage by? Do we do a status effect? I think I'm going to put required limb above that. Put required limbs right here. Required limbs. Of the fighters. Health and fighting ability. Each move requires a limb to be available. to successfully use. If any of the limbs required are not available due to being crippled or destroyed, they cannot perform the move. Capital move. Then we do status effects. Then we'll do modifiers. Yeah, then we'll do modifiers here. Modifiers. Act as a method. With a single move. Move. Adds base cost to buy and another cost depending. Two modifiers. So actually what we're going to do is we make it for modifier free now. Each modifier has a base cost to buy and another cost depending on the modifier in question. So possessing a modifier costs 2, but adding the what's one of the ones? Actually, but adding the fade modifier costs an additional 3. Why am I doing this? I'm doing this mostly because if you don't, people are going to just build super moves. And super moves are cool, but you don't need everyone to have one. Sometimes you just need some bread and butter abilities. It's also help incentivize or de-incentivize certain abilities. Some are just good. Fun fact. Archivo 12. Not Archivo Black. Oh god. Archivo 12. Next we have to do the modifiers. Actually, we'll do... Oh, didn't mean to do that. So, I'm going to put the description in here. Because I am a lazy boy. Chip. Move is successful. Grebe. Yeah, you kind of see incentivize, like, I like chains. Chains good. Keyword good. Grab. Yeah. I don't want people picking up things like multi-target and crippler. Actually, I should even bump up the cost of crippler up to 80. Actually, I can probably bump that up to 10 reliably. It's so powerful because you can effectively win a fight pretty damn easily with that. There's trigger attached to it. Actually, what we can do is we can put a modifier. So we want to put that 12. We'll put that as Archivo. Okay. Let's extend you out a little bit. Can I add a... We'll call it a move trigger. Actually, no. We have to put that up. It would be here and after... So it would be after mix-up. We'll call it a move trigger. Call that a -3. The move can only... Once a specific trigger is in place, what does that actually mean? I can only use this move if X, Y, or Z occurs. I can only use this move if I am bound. I can only use this move if I am, you know, bleeding to death or whatever. If I don't have one of my arms, I can use this move. I am in a grab. I can use this move. Okay, we've got all of these. So that means now we need tension. Yeah, tension. Tension's the final one. Actually, can I put tension cost up higher? I can probably put that before attack die even. It'll actually see if I can encourage people to... Hi, phone. Tension cost. The amount of tension required. Successfully use the move. Now the beautiful thing is, once this is all done, that means I can immediately switch over and just copy pasta a lot of these over to the next one. Hi, Mom. I love my mother to death. She likes texting me, though. All the modifiers. Am I forgetting something? I am forgetting something. I know I am. No, I'm not forgetting something. All right, so this means I can now move over to defensive moves. The great thing is what we can do is part 4. Fighters defend themselves in unique ways. Punish greedy opponents. Devastating strikes. Or a painful counter to their to a uncommittal attitude. Defensive moves are built like an exactly like an offensive move, but with some slight variations. To the idea of being on defense. And this doesn't mean that being on the defense is going to be a bad thing. Some styles are going to be entirely dependent on being on the defensive, so you can quickly punish your enemies and make them fall over. Remember, everyone, the secret to winning every fight is making sure your opponent loses. So what we need to do is... yeah, I do use the same tension cost. Awesome. Tension cost. The exact same. And... die. The defense die. Slightly, because that's what this says right here. Let's see what else we looking for. Defense against strikes. But remember, kids, it's a hell of a lot harder to defend yourself than it is to make sure the enemy is not feeling too hot. So we want, is everything the same here? Yes, everything is the same here. Remember, kids, do not hesitate to steal from things you have previously done. It makes things go by much easier. Two, 4, 6, 8, 2, 4, 6, 8, 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yep. Also because the modifiers are slightly different. I'm going to transfer everything over, though, because what I can do... So, allowing up. Modifiers. Set X same as with... the defensive nature of the move. Alright, so we... So we do not have chain, we do not have... Do we have chip? We don't have chip, do we? No, we don't have chip. We don't have crippler. We do have iPhone. We do not have fireball. We do have Q. We need hyper armor in. Hyper armor is going to cost 5. Oh, goodness gracious me. Sleepy. Sleepy. Give me one moment. I need to check something. Armor do exactly. Hyper armor. We have. Where are you? Where are you, hyper armor? Keyword mix up, multi target. Keyword mix up. Man, seize the momentum and the authority. So punishments is successful. If successful, this move will deal damage equal to the dice rolled. Actually, to the actually will deal damage. Actually, if successful, this move will deal damage Attribute die. Pretty much the idea is you're making an attack. That's all that is. It's like, I'm going to be making a defense move. But instead, if I hit, I'm going to punch you in the face. And then seize the momentum. Hello, phone. 12, Archivo. Modifiers are slightly different cost. 83333 523 523 558 5583 5583. Okay. All right, we've made it through offensive and defensive moves. Now we get to go through utility instances. Once utility instances are done, we get to move into keywords. How long have I been streaming? I've been streaming for nearly 2 hours. I'm going to call it here for today. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get this all done. That's going to be my goal. I want to get all of this done by, it'd be, what day is it? Today's Thursday. Yeah, so it'd be tomorrow. I'm going to get this all done by tomorrow. And then when I get everything done by tomorrow, we will start probably on, what do we need to do after this? Fixing equipment up, I think. Yeah, we'll fix equipment up a little bit. And we'll make a few custom styles and see what we can do. But once that's done, we're pretty good, actually. So yeah, that we'll play it by ear and see how we do things. Yeah, fix up equipment tomorrow and finish up whatever else we need to do. Tomorrow might be it. So, Godspeed, good luck. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will catch